Desiree Shaw, registered certified licensed psychotherapist, CBT therapist, and counselor. On a mission to make therapy accessible and change the world, one thought at a time. Don't miss out. Subscribe, like, and share for more on men's mental health and relationships.
Hello and welcome. My name is Desiree Shaw and I'm a psychotherapist and I vlog and I podcast. In this video, I'm going to explain negative automatic thoughts. These are basically NATs. Okay, so what is a negative automatic thought? These are the immediate thoughts that you have when you encounter any situation. Okay, and it could be triggered by absolutely anything. We're constantly triggered. Okay, some people find that word trigger to be quite hostile, as if it's like you're actually, like you're firing something. However, the word trigger in terms of CBT, it's basically the situation or the event or the person or the idea of something possibly happening. All right, that is what a trigger is. So a trigger is basically something that gets you into your funk. Sometimes you're in a funk sometimes and you can't get yourself out of it because you have one thought, then another thought, then another thought, and all of that leads to your behavioral emotional outcome. Now, your emotions are really, really big. They're so big, we struggle to manage our emotions. However, with every emotion, there is a thought. Now, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? We know that emotions are so big, you can't actually control those, but you can manage your thoughts, and you can manage your thoughts effectively by actually being rational, by being healthy, and supporting yourself to move forward. A negative automatic thought doesn't do that. A negative automatic thought actually puts you in a bit of your own funk, basically. If you come into a situation or an event or a person or a possible fear about something possibly going to happen in the future, which is often anxiety or depression led, you may find it very difficult to get out of it because the thoughts come really thick and fast, really, really rapidly. You can't stop them. And from those thoughts, your whole physical body, everything about you responds. So your physical symptoms are basically, they support your negative automatic thoughts, because your negative automatic thoughts tell your body that you're in imminent danger. This is when we go into our fight, flight, freeze, which I always talk about in most of my videos. I explain that process. And because of that process, you end up having a set of behaviors which are counterproductive to anything and everything that you actually want to do. So it may be that you have an anger problem, and when a situation or a person or an event takes place, a particular kind, you may be triggered into outbursts and lashing out, shouting or hurting people that you actually love and you wish that you didn't. It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because, there's something wrong with you. It's actually all based on your thinking pattern, your negative automatic thoughts and your thought distortions, your cognitive distortions, okay? When a negative automatic thought happens, it follows the pathway, almost like it purchases a ticket, because that thought happens, but then it needs something to run with. It needs to go full steam ahead. Like a bit like a freight train in a way, and it purchases one of these or many of the cognitive distortions, which could be all or nothing thinking. It could be awfulizing. Often awfulizing is there, or low frustration tolerance, when you just can't stand it. And this is what gets you. It gets you on that momentum that this thing, this situation, this person, this event is absolutely terrible, and it's going to lead to absolute disaster. So your body also follows suit with the physical symptoms, because that's actually how amazing we are. Our bodies are structured to support our thinking. Our thinking supports our bodies. So a negative automatic thought doesn't support you. So the process is very much, it's very counterproductive, and it gets you stuck, because ultimately you want to be safe. Your mind wants to keep you safe. So if you read a situation as absolute disaster, absolutely awful, and you can't stand it, and you're really terrible, or the other person is really, really terrible, you're going to behave according to how you think. However, if your negative automatic thoughts could be disputed, pulled apart, and actually measured up to hold any evidence, logic, or benefit of that thought, you would start to recognize that gnat does not serve you. So what CBT does, it supports you to rearrange and reconstruct healthy thoughts, healthy ideas about yourself, and generate more preferences as opposed to demands and absolutes, and if this doesn't go this way, then it's absolutely terrible. Because we do this as humans, because we're constantly fighting for our survival, and we're trying to establish ourselves and keep our identity as close to what we think we are as possible. And if anything seems to threaten that in any shape or form, we seek to protect ourselves as best as possible. So a lot of the time we're protecting ourselves, we have our defense mechanisms up because of how we view a situation, not actually because of what is really actually happening. Now, the fight, flight, freeze is there to support you and save your life. So in a real event where your life is endangered, you will kick in, your fight, flight, freeze will kick in, and you'll run, you'll freeze, you'll lash out, depending on what is the best mode for you to support yourself at the time. But that actually comes into conflict, massive conflict, when you are viewing situations based on your negative automatic thoughts. So that is what a negative automatic thought is. What are your negative automatic thoughts? Are you aware of what they are? Are you aware of how they come about? Can you imagine what would life be like if you didn't have those negative automatic thoughts? If you could change your negative automatic thoughts into something much more healthier, much more rounded, much more encompassing of you as a person, allowing you to experience the world and be a part of things without that block, how much more enhanced would your life actually be? I can actually tell you, you'd have a much more comfortable experience. Because we don't like discomfort as human beings, we are constantly moving towards being comfortable, and we base our comfort on the historical knowledge of things that we've learned in the past, or what we believe about a situation based on how we've been influenced, because we're influenced all the time. We influenced each other, and a lot of the time our influences are, they can be counterproductive. It's not everybody in your life is counterproductive and influences you negatively, but sometimes you can actually be influenced negatively by somebody with the best intentions, based on how you perceive the information, based on how you adapt the information to yourself. So highlight your negative automatic thoughts so that you can get a better understanding as to why you are thinking and doing the way that you do. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Desiree Shaw, and I'm a psychotherapist, and I vlog and I podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this channel. Thank you so much for watching.
Don't miss out. Subscribe, like, and share for more on men's mental health and relationships.